Hey everyone, it's Amanda Marie here, and I am coming at you with a video about migraine. And for any of you who may have migraine, you know it is not just a regular headache. I have had migraine since I was very young. I started getting them in grade school, and I can tell you it has taken a lot away from my life. I've had to cancel all kinds of things from work to concerts to, going on hikes, to having a good time, family outings. There's all kinds of things I have had to cancel. There are things I've had to suffer through, like almost every time I've gone to a seminar or something out of town, I've had a migraine the whole time. There are just so many triggers for me. I do know most of my triggers. Heavy perfumes can cause them. Barometric pressure seems to have an effect. If it's too hot, if I haven't eaten on time, if I've eaten the wrong foods. I mean, there are so many triggers, which I will go over. I'll go ahead and put a slide together that has some of the common triggers. And if you get chronic migraine, you may have triggers that aren't even on the list that I put together. There are so many. And with migraine, it is neurological. So it's not like a regular kind of pain. It's a nerve. It's the neurons and blood vessels doing something, causing the pain, which is why some of the symptoms of migraine are so bizarre and can almost, or sometimes mimic something like a stroke. I have had very scary migraine symptoms such as double vision, slurred speech, not being able to talk correctly. So it can be very scary. Some people even get numbness and all kinds of things. So there is a lot to it, and I know that some people are like, oh, they just have a headache. No, it's not just a headache. It's very debilitating. It's one of the sixth most debilitating conditions that there are, just so that people who don't have migraine can understand a little bit about those who do. If I sound a little funny, I do have a cold. My nose is driving me nuts. And I'm trying to carry on without itching too much here, so bear with me if I sound a little nasally. I am a little nasally. So first I want to go over something that I found online. It talks about what happens in the body. It's an article from Everyday Health on the internet, and I'll go ahead and link the article that I found, as well as put the slides up from the different symptoms of migraine. So first of all, we have the prodrome, which is it's where the migraine starts. It's a few days or a few hours before the onset of the migraine. And there's a range of symptoms, including food cravings, mood changes, and uncontrollable yawning. Now, I think I probably get food cravings and mood changes. I don't know about uncontrollable yawning, but that's definitely interesting. Next is aura. And not everyone gets an aura. It's 20 to 40% of the people. And I do get them. It's something that sometimes is called ocular migraine too, where you see a distorted pattern. I'm gonna go ahead and also put an image of kind of what it's like for what I see. There are videos out there that kind of simulate what it's like. It'll start with a blind spot in the middle of my vision and like a zigzag pattern that moves out, and it'll usually be on one side of my vision, and the side of the vision that it's on, I'll have the migraine once it comes on the opposite side, because it is a neurological headache. So if I have an aura on The right side, I will have a headache on the left side because your brain, that's how your brain works. The left controls the right controls the left. So then the headache comes, and it can be somewhat, you can handle it at times. I mean, I can handle it at times, and other times it's so bad that I can't move. I will have to sit and lay in one position. I'll talk about some things that I do to try to soothe migraine when it's that intense, so maybe it can help you if you have intense headaches. And then after the migraine is what they call the postdrome. It's like a hangover. It's when the pain stops, and it'll last for hours to days. I feel like when I have it, it feels like my brain is just not working right. Like I feel like I'm in a fog. I feel like I have cotton in my head for brains. It's very irritating. I can't think as well, or just I can't function as well. Like I can't think as clear. So these are the symptoms of migraine. I hope you don't have them. I really do. I wouldn't want anyone to have them. They are so incredibly hard to deal with at times. So I hope this is helpful, and it opens up some insight for you if you have migraines or if you don't. So some of the things that I do to soothe my migraines are cold cloth or ice packs. And then sometimes I don't want anything cold. Sometimes I want something warm, so I'll take a warm shower to get my sinuses open and just get the blood flowing. That helps me sometimes. To prop, not to lay flat, but to lay like propped up with some pillows, that helps. For some reason, sometimes laying flat makes my headache even worse. Sometimes I will sit up and just kind of close my eyes, and there have been times where it probably looks ridiculous. I'm like sitting up in bed with my eyes closed, and I'm like holding my head in one spot, and I know it just sounds crazy, but it's like that the pain is sometimes that weird and that positional, and so yeah. Of course, caffeine is a trigger, but it also can help migraines. So sometimes I'll do I do have prescription medication. I take a very old medication called Furacet. I used to take some of the triptans, which are a new family of drugs. The one that worked for me best was Axert, and that one is extremely expensive and isn't covered by my insurance. So I don't use it anymore. I use the old drug, which works okay. Another thing I can do is sometimes I'll take ibuprofen and a cup of coffee, and that will be okay. It's one of those things that you just kind of have to find what works for you, and sometimes the migraine is it's something you're just gonna have to ride out. Not fun. And then you make that face, you're like, oh no. Okay, that's not what happens. I also want to speak into some of the triggers. So I'm going to put a list up. There are so many different triggers. Mostly they revolve around food and the senses. Like light, you can be sensitive to light, you can be sensitive to smell. Like I said, for me, perfumes and stuff like that can just actually start a migraine in a matter of seconds. If someone has on some heavy cologne or something, I end up getting a headache. Other ones are, like I said, food related. Here's a list of foods right here. So we're going to be looking at chocolate, cheese, wine. A lot of the people are like, what am I going to eat? oh no. And it's true. It isn't. It sucks. It sucks. It's not fun. It's not cool. It's horrible. There's lots of, if you love chocolate, well, guess what? I used to love chocolate. I don't eat it as much as I can have a very small amount any more than like half a candy bar, and it will give me a migraine. So, yeah, there's a lot to it. If anyone has any suggestions or ideas or triggers or anything about migraine that you would like to list, please go ahead and put it in the comments below. Because I really want to spread awareness so people can understand why they're feeling so bad, and then also so that other people can understand that a migraine is not just a headache. So hope this was helpful, and I will see you next week. Bye.